Okay, welcome. So today we are going to learn histamine and antihistamine receptors. Basically, today we will learn its simulation. You know, today the softwares and the computational techniques are so advanced. Then using that you can predict everything. Okay. So very briefly today I will introduce about sim biology. Actually, during my all analysis, design, simulation, everything, I oftenly use MATLAB. So MATLAB having a dedicated portal or app for sim biology. So we will understand it. Even though it's a very basic thing, lot of things can be done using sim biology. So today we are going to learn the simulation of histamine and antihistamine receptor using sim biology. Okay, so before going to the example, let us understand what is this histamine and antihistamine. So basically the histamine is synthesized from basophil. Okay, basically it's it's generated from histidine. Okay, so you see here one acid group is there, COOH. Okay, so if the decarboxylation means this is CO2, COO means if from this CO2 is minus. CO2 minus means this H left and this H. This will add, it will become CH2. You see, up to this it's same. So once CO2 is going out by decarboxylation, then this entire thing is converted at this. So this is basically histamine. Okay, so histamine is synthesized in basophil by decarboxylation of histidine. So normally this histamine, it is positively charged. So normally it will be attracting the negatively charged molecule like heparin and other acidic proteins, and this will be present like a granules in mast cell, and during the exocytosis these granules will come out. Okay, once these granules come out, so there will be some sodium exchange. Okay, this sodium will go inside that granules, and sodium is normally cation positively charged, so which will start, there is a repulsion, and this histamine will come out and it will be present in blood and plasma. Okay, so already we learned about the various kind of pathway and receptor like tyrosine kinase. So normally the signaling, so here the histamine will work as a signaling chemical or signaling molecule. Okay, so this normally this is the binding site. In the binding site the histamine will come and sit, and subsequent chemical changes will happen. Okay, and signal transduction will take place, and this will activate some other response. So many things are there H1 to H4, this kind of all these four types of receptors and histamines are there. So today in my today's example we are just very briefly knowing about H3. So it's basically stimulates other subtypes of postsynaptic receptors. Basically it will accelerate, it will work as a neurotransmitter. Okay, this response, when this response will go, it will this response basically it will work as a neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter is a excitation in the central nervous system, and this will create the anxiety and all these things. Say we are overthinking, something happened, we are intensed, so that time this kind of phenomena will happen. So we have to stop that. To stop that, we have to use antihistamine. Okay, now what is the dose of that antihistamine? How much we will use? Antihistamine basically it will come, if you that antihistamine drug if you apply, then that antihistamine drug will come and sit on the binding site. Okay, you see this antihistamine, it will come and sit on the binding site, and it will not allow the histamine to bind. If histamine is not bind, then this response will the cellular response will not be activated, and this will that neurotransmitter, because those receptors will be not excited, the excitatory action of the central nervous system, it will not initiate, and slowly you will feel sleepy, drowsiness and all these things. Okay, so this mechanism we will learn using SymBiology. It's a wonderful tool. This SymBiology is used for drug development, because sometimes I used to work with some pharmaceuticals and some medical professionals, some doctors, some researchers in the medical field. They are giving me that, because they are giving the necessary data and the model, the way it is to be simulated, and I used to do the consultancy for them. So I have done so many simulation in SymBiology of MATLAB, which is used for drug development. The stimulations of that human body, how much, once the drug is developed, then how much dosage is to be decided for that particular reaction. Okay, and products, and using this SymBiology, we will learn it slowly, the signaling pathway, and its transduction can be also simulated. We already learned tyrosine kinase pathway. Then we will, today this is a very brief description about histamine receptors. Then we will know MAP kinase pathway. All these things we will simulate using this SymBiology. Okay, sorry, this is the different thing. So now if we open the MATLAB, so it will, the interface, it will be looking like this. Okay, now we click the app, and you see here this is the SymBiology. So you click on the SymBiology, so this is the interface. Then you go to add model and create a new blank model. Here you type histamine, it is the name, histamine, antihistamine. I am giving the name. It's open like this interface. Then you click the diagram, so it will be like this. You see all the components, it is appeared. Now you drag it and make it a bigger way. So here we will use some species. Okay, here we will use some species and some reaction. So reaction means that will be the binding, or when we are giving the antihistamine, so it will be work as a competitive binding, means it will not allow the histamine to bind on the receptor or on the binding site. Okay, so here we will give some name. So this is my histamine. Okay, and this is my receptor. histamine receptor, or we can write receptor. Okay. Ki mosha. And this is the binding. Okay, and this is my final, that signaling, or this final, I can give the name histamine receptor complex. Histamine receptor complex. Okay. Now for this is the concentration. I am giving arbitrary because that concentration can be given in milligram, means dose and all. That we have to this in our body. So all these things can be tested, and it can be observed, or this will be given by the doctors or the researchers. Okay, so here arbitrarily I am giving the 0.9, and the receptor I am giving 0.3. Okay, now this actually here, when the arrow, we will use some arrow, the direction, when the arrow is going to species to reaction, that means that is a reactant, and when it is going from the reaction to species, so it will be a product output finally. So we are interested in that, this histamine receptor complex, how it is generating and what will be its concentration, because based on that the entire action will be taking place. Okay, so now you click, you put the mouse on that particular species or node and click control, and then mouse left click. Again I am taking the mouse there, then control, and I am doing like this. Okay, so first I am taking the mouse on that particular node, then pressing control, then clicking left click and taking like this. Okay, so now here we have to parameterize. So these things are reversible, so this reaction will be reversible, forward and backward both. So first we will select this, the mass action. So the receptor is 0. So here is if it is a reversible, so the forward parameter, so Kf. So here you can, that unit you can give milligram or all these things, the dose. I am not giving any unit now, unitless. And this is the reverse. So this I am giving as 5. So all these things should be fine tuned. Okay. So this one, so it is okay. Now receptor I have to give some concentration 3. Okay, so in this situation let us see, enter. So let us see what is the how this situation is, because when the antihistamine is not present, we have not applied the drug, then what is the concentration, how this hysteresis reception, this hysteresis receptor complex, how it exhibits. You click add task, then go to the simulate model. Okay, then here you go to the property, and this is the line properties. I'll make something thicker, the line width I'm making thicker. So now click run. You see, this is a simple. You see, this is your histamine. The blue is histamine, and this brown color is the receptor, and this is the this is your histamine receptor complex. Okay, because I am feeling drowsy, so that's why my brain is not working. So this is the at steady state. So this is the histamine receptor complex. Now we will modify these things. If now we will add some antihistamine. Okay, so this is my antihistamine. So this is our second generation antihistamine. Okay, and this is the reaction. So this is the competitive binding, means it will not allow to bind the histamine with the receptor binding site. Okay, so it is competitive binding. Now this is the species. So this I will name as say antihistamine receptor complex. Antihistamine receptor complex. Okay, so now again control go. So now this my antihistamine, now that is the dose we have to, based on this previous simulation, the body situation, you have to say I am very much tension, I am not able to sleep, or I am in insomnia, so I have to sleep. How much I will give antihistamine and how it will suppress the hysteresis. Again I am telling hysteresis because I am mad. This histamine receptor complex, how it will suppress. So antihistamine, let me give, it is slightly higher concentration, 0.5. okay, and again this binding, this is also so select that is a mass action. So this is reversible. So the forward value, let it be here it will 2, increasing, and the reverse action, say it is very less, 0.1. okay, now we will go to the simulation and see. So again I am going to the property, line property, last one, it is 1, I am again increasing it to 3. Now let us run here. Anyway, so you see now mainly I have to see the histamine receptor complex, where it is. Earlier it was dominating. Okay, so you see this is this line, you see this line is the histamine receptor complex, and now once I have applied the antihistamine, you see this line is the antihistamine receptor complex. So now, and what is the surplus antihistamine? So this is the antihistamine. So this is the antihistamine in my body. So it will suppress the neurotransmitter action, and I will feel sleepy. Aram se I will sleep. whenever I am tensed, I am tired, I am not able to sleep, I am thinking something, I am overexcited, my central nervous system behaving always, it is in excitatory mode. Okay, so that time I will take the antihistamine and sleep. So this is a very simple simulation on symbiology, and slowly we will learn so many things and how to apply this symbiology in drug development, is dose, then various pathway simulation and all these things. It's very simple, because who are in, even though I don't know how much you people will understand, because I am quite familiar with this kind of things, because this is my regular job. I used to do with several agencies. But once you are handling with this, if you install the software and started to, because the people you are in medical, you are medical student, you are studying these things, because I am not a medical student. I took more time to understand it, but you are in medical field, so you will be understanding the dynamics better than me, and you will be able to simulate the things in better way, which will be useful for your professional life. So thank you so much. Thanks for your patience. Good night.